Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about a product that has probably been on the market for about 10 years. I got my first one probably about 3 years ago, and now I have all 10 shades. So there's 10 shades, and I'm talking about the Charlotte Tilbury Color Chameleon eyeshadow sticks. It's kind of like a hybrid between an eyeshadow stick and eyeliner. I don't really consider it an eyeshadow stick. I use it like an eyeshadow stick, but I use it also kind of as an eyeliner as well. So I discovered these, well, I didn't discover them. I received my first one probably 3 years ago when I got my very first Charlotte Tilbury mystery box, and I got the shade Amber Haze, which is here. This is not it. And I, used it. I liked it, but I didn't really think much of it. And then there was another point where I purchased Pillow Talk, and which is this shade right here that I'm wearing today. And I wore it. I brought it on vacation with me, and I wore it at some point when I just needed to do a really quick eye look, and I didn't have much time, and I put it together. And I just realized, wow, these things don't budge. And I started using them. I started using the Amber Haze. And then I just slowly started buying all the shades whenever there was a sale. I just purchased, and now I have all 10 shades. So there's 9 shades that are on sale, but there is also the Smoky Pillow Talk. And this is exclusive to charlottetilbury.com, and this actually comes in a little set, so you can only get this one in a set. So I actually had Pillow Talk already, but in order to get this one, I purchased the set, and then I just gave this one to a friend. So anyway, but I think they're fantastic, and this is also the only matte shade. The other 8 original shades are also kind of color coded for your eyes, so your eye look, and I'll kind of go into it, but they have 2 for blue eyes, 2 for green eyes, 2 for hazel, and then 2 for brown. And then the 2 Pillow Talk shades are kind of considered universal. So, but I obviously have all 10 shades because I think while they do, they are designed to work with your eye color to make your eye color pop, you could absolutely wear all 10 shades. So let's get into them. Okay, so on the website, it just states it is a hybrid shadow liner eye pencil for a quick and easy pop of color. This foolproof formula creates dazzling eyes in seconds and lasts for up to 10 hours. The Easy Glide pencil is infused with Caranuba wax for smooth application and flawless film formers for a long-lasting water repellent finish. And they really do last. I cannot stress this enough. Plus, I find these, while I love the eyes to mesmerize, these are, I think, even easier, and they're also just quick and easy because they are in an eyeshadow stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch all 10 shades on my hand, and then I'm going to go through each of the colors as well. Okay, so here are the swatches. From left to right, you have Champagne Diamonds, which is a light shimmer. This is for blue eyes. Also for blue eyes is Black Diamonds. It's sparkling black. Next 2 are for hazel eyes, Golden Quartz, a sparkling gold. Smoky Emerald, a smoky green. The next 2 are for green eyes, Bronzed Garnett, a metallic red toned bronze. And then Amethyst Aphrodite, a sparkling purple. The next 2 are for brown eyes, Amber Haze, a deep amber bronze. And then Dark Pearl, which is a sparkling gray. And then the last 2 are Pillow Talk, a nude pink. And then the last one is Smoky Pillow Talk, the only matte shade, and that's described as a matte berry brown. Now, before I get into the demos of each shade and talk about each shade and what I like about each of them, I'm just going to show you, I have them on my arm, and you cannot, once they're on, they're on. So you really need a cleansing balm or eye makeup remover to get these off. So, but you can see how reflective they are. The matte one is probably the one that's it's also the last one I did, but that one hasn't dried down as much. But the other ones, they aren't coming off. Okay, so as I mentioned, I am wearing the Pillow Talk shade with the Pillow Talk matte. And I've kind of just put the Pillow Talk all over my eyes and then took the Pillow Talk matte and just kind of did on the outside. You can layer these. You have to work somewhat quickly, but you can layer them. I'm gonna layer in a second with the first shade that I'm gonna talk about, but they do layer pretty well. However, I kind of like them on their own. I kind of like them as one and done. I just wanted to put those two together because they are sold together. Okay, so the first two shades I'm going to talk about are for blue eyes. I have blue eyes, so makes sense. And the first one is Champagne Diamond. So here's some video of me putting on Champagne Diamonds all over the eyes, and that's what I'm going to show for each one. I'm going to show each shade as a one and done shadow. However, this is one that I think is good for everybody because you can use it, probably need to sharpen it, but you can use it as a, inner corner or brow bone, and that's what I'm going to do now. So I didn't put this on. I'm going to put this on with what I have already. So I'm just going to kind of put this in on the inside as a kind of like and then the brow bone. So I've done that a couple times too, and you can kind of do this with every single shadow. And it also really pairs well with the next one, which is Black Diamonds, but it pairs really well. But even on its own, I do really like this one a lot. This is one that I probably like the least on its own, just because I tend to not like, very light shadows. However, I do really like it. And I kind of like this one more than I like the Champagne Eyes to Mesmerize. So if I'm going to go for like a really light look, I would go for this one over the Champagne Eyes to Mesmerize. Okay, next up is Black Diamonds, and it's described as a sparkling black, and it is just that. It is absolutely stunning. It's kind of like more of a very dark gray, I would say, but if you've ever wanted to do a really smoky eye and don't know how to do it, this makes it so easy. I also think this one, because it's the darkest shade of the bunch, it does have the most sparkle, because I think it has the same amount of sparkle, but you just see it more because it's darker. At least that's my perception of it. But it really does make my blue eyes pop when I wear it. And it also makes wearing a smoky eye very, very easy. So this is Black Diamonds. Okay, next up is Golden Quartz, and this is Golden Quartz. It is described as a sparkling gold, and this one is kind of like almost like an olive green, and it's for, the next two also are for hazel eyes, so I forgot to mention that. The next two are for hazel eyes, and this one is kind of like a khaki brown, antique gold, and, almost olive, like undertone green. So that's it right there. You can go back to the swatches as well, but it is really just a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. I like this. Now, I obviously do not have hazel eyes, but I really like the way this one looks, and I think it's just stunning. So this is Golden Quartz. Okay, next up is Smoky Emerald, and this is it right here. This one seems to be very popular because it's constantly sold out. Now, it is available on Sephora, but it is currently sold out. I think also with Black Diamonds is sold out on the Charlotte Tilbury website. You can get them through Sephora though, in the United States. This one, it is described as a smoky green, and it does say that it has sparkle, but it just, to me, has the least amount of sparkle. When I swatch it, it's got some reflective qualities in it, but you're not gonna see the sparkle like you do in Black Diamonds. So I can kind of compare the two. However, I do think it's really pretty. So there you can see Black Diamonds, you can kind of see it there, but it really is really pretty. And for someone who, I like green eyeshadow, I just kind of struggle wearing color, I really like wearing that one because, or if I'm doing something, and how I use these a lot too is instead of doing it as a one and done, I might use this as a bottom, kind of an eyeliner, or eyeline the top, and then instead of a one and done. And I really like that when I'm doing like some sort of green eyeshadow look. So that is Smoky Emerald. The next two are for green eyes, and this is Bronzed Garnett, and it's described as a metallic red tone bronze. I love this one. I really, really love it. Here's a swatch right here. And also I just want to show you how creamy these are, because I didn't swatch them, but you can kind of see how creamy they are. Hopefully you're seeing it when I do the swatches or when I'm doing the demos. I just love this shade. Even though I have blue eyes, I think it definitely makes my eyes pop, even though I don't have green eyes, but it is absolutely one of my favorites. And if you have green eyes, you're probably gonna love it even more. And next up is Amethyst Aphrodite. It's described as a sparkling purple. It is just that. It is gorgeous. Again, this is also for green eyes, and obviously purple really makes green eyes pop. And I'm not one, I like purple eyeshadow, but I don't really tend to gravitate towards purple eyeshadow. However, I love this as a one and done if I wanted like a purple eyeshadow look. It absolutely looks stunning. I also like using this one, just like I mentioned with the Emerald one, where I use it as a liner or to add some color or a top line to, you know, whatever eye look I'm doing if I'm doing regular eyeshadow. So this is Amethyst Aphrodisiac. Okay, next up is Amber Haze, and Amber Haze, as I mentioned, is the first one that I received in the mystery box, and it is described as a deep amber bronze. Now, this one is probably expired. I've used it quite a bit, but I have had it a while. It still is, it still works, and I can still use it. However, it's not nearly as creamy as the other ones, and as I used it, I did struggle with it a bit. However, I've had it 3 years. It's way past expiration. So I'm probably going to, once there's another sale, I'll probably replace this one. But I can use this one. I have to sharpen it. And as I sharpen it, it does get a little creamier, but it is probably expired. But it's a really gorgeous shade. It is a pretty bronze. These two are for, the next two are for brown. So this one and the next one are for brown eyes. But Amber Haze is really pretty. It does have, you know, a lot of these shades have coordinating eyes to mesmerize too, so I think they really work well together. But I also, again, I like using this one as an eyeliner as well. So this is Amber Haze. And the other one for brown is Dark Pearl, and Dark Pearl is described as a sparkling gray. What I like about this one is that it's also kind of has like a purple or lavender undertone. So you can see here, so that's Amber Haze, and you can kind of see this one has kind of, it's gray, but it's kind of got like a lavender or purple undertone. So I'll put it next to the Amethyst one so you can see. This is the Amethyst one. So this one's definitely more purple. But this one, if you kind of looked at it on its own, it almost looks like it has a little bit of lavender. So you could actually pair these together, and I have done that as well, where I've kind of put this one all over the lid and maybe put this one kind of at the base. But I think they really work well together. Obviously great as a one and done. I love Dark Pearl as a one and done, even though I have blue eyes or made for brown eyes. I think it's stunning. So Dark Pearl, oh, that's not even it. That's Amethyst. This is Dark Pearl. But it is, this is definitely one of my favorites. And now we're going to get to the last two shades, which are considered universal shades. They're not for any sort of color eyes. And the first, of course, is Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk is what I'm wearing today, and this is a newer shade. This came out I want to say in the last 2 years. I don't even know when, but it is one of the newer shades, and I really like this one. It's just the traditional Pillow Talk. This is one. This is the first one I really used as a one and done shadow, and I realized how amazing these are. So I've continued to use this. I end up using this more than, as far as like a Pillow Talk eye look, I will use this more than the Eyes to Mesmerize. I don't know why. I think probably just because it lasts really, really long, but it's great. Obviously, I'm wearing it today. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, you know, eyeshadow stick, but you can also use it like if you're using the Pillow Talk Dreams or Pillow Talk eyeshadow quads, you can use this as a liner as well, and it really helps, you know, pair it with the you know, eyeshadow quad. So but this is Pillow Talk. And then finally, the only matte shade is Smoky Pillow Talk, and here it is. So this is, again, the only matte shade, and this one is the only one you cannot purchase individually. So this one you have to purchase in a set. The good thing is that these run $29. However, together they're $35. So you can get them as two for $35, which I think is totally worth it. I already had Pillow Talk, and again, I purchased the set because I really wanted this last shade. I also like round numbers, so I like things in like 5s or 10s. So I was really bothering me that there was only 9 shades, so I wanted that 10th shade. But I do really like this one, and now this one doesn't dry down as much as the other ones. And so I use this more as a secondary shade. I don't use this one as a one and done shadow, or I haven't yet. I did use it today as a backup, or as a B-roll, and I liked how it looked. And then as I, blended it out, it did start to dry down. So, but I feel like this one just doesn't dry down as much as the others. However, when I've used it as a liner, it does dry down and it doesn't smudge. So it does, I think it just maybe takes a little bit longer to dry down. I love the shade. Now I have this and I have the Pillow Talk eyeliner. They're very similar in shade. I probably very, very close. So you could use one or the other. You probably don't need both. But I do like when I'm using, because I don't tend to use a lot of eyeliners, I do stuff like this because I usually use like the eyeshadow. So I kind of use this as the base, and then we'll go over it with the eyeshadow, and this helps it, not run and just last a little bit longer. So this is the Smoky Pillow Talk shade, only matte shade, and you got to buy it in a set. Okay, so that is all 10 of the Charlotte Tilbury Color Chameleons. Again, these have been out for 10 years, so this video is definitely not a new product, but it's a product that I don't hear anybody talk about. And actually, I looked online and there's not a lot of videos. There are some videos. There are none with the swatch of the Smoky Pillow Talk, and I don't even think there's any with the Pillow Talk because that is a newer shade. I think these are just fabulous. I think they're great. If you like one and done, or you like eyeshadow sticks, I think you'll really like these. And if you're looking for something that's easy and does not budge, they're fantastic. Like, I am going to be taking these. We're going on another cruise coming up in March, and I will be taking these because I think, one, they're just easy and they're not going to budge. So they're great. Now they're, like I said, they're $29. You can get that kit for $35 of the 2 Pillow Talk shades. When Charlotte Tilbury does have sales, what she's done is she's done like, you can get 3 and you can pick whatever 3 shades, and it's like 30 or 40% off. That's how I, ended up getting all the shades. None of these were received in PR. I purchased all of these, but I did purchase, I think, most of them on sale. The only one I probably didn't was the Smoky Emerald, because I did have to buy that one through Sephora because it was just never online and available to me. So I think they're great. Highly recommend them. If I were to recommend any, I would say get the 2 Pillow Talk shades because it's such a great deal for the 2 shades for $35. You can use my promo code to save 15%, Shannon FFA012. But then also, I think, for the other shades, coordinate with, your eye color. I think that is a really good way to start. Or if you just, if you really like purple, then get the purple one and it doesn't, coordinate with your eye. Or if you really like the green, then get the green one. Get whatever, kind of gravitates. That's why I wanted to do demos of each shade, and then also swatches so you can see all the shades. But I would say start with the 2 Pillow Talk shades because you can get those 2 in a set. And then, if you want to get more during one of her sales, they usually do a bundle of 3. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.